Hello. Like I said, I did a video on Aurora the other day. Just kind of was more of like a character bio kind of video. But right, this is something I've mentioned a lot. Is that Aurora is the best hero in the game, right? And I think people don't quite understand why. Like, and I tried to explain it, but the thing about Aurora is that she is the only hero who has the dodge stats. Right, she has dodge skin stuff, but she has dodge. Right, so dodge is probably the best mitigation stat in the game. Right, there's three mitigation stats in the game. There's dodge, there's armor, and there's magic defense. Right, magic defense and armor. There's also a stat called magic penetration, armor penetration that can counteract these. There is nothing that counteracts dodge. Right, dodge is actually instead checked against the opposing hero's primary stat. As you can see, Aurora with maxed out stats plus maxed out cane patronage, her dodge is actually higher than her strength. This means an opposing Aurora who has the same stats will actually have a less than 50% chance of landing a hit on her. Right, so dodge, like if these numbers were exactly the same, the chance of landing a hit is 50%. There's a formula for it, but I can't remember like exactly. It was can't remember the exact formula, but pretty much like you get diminishing returns once you get above 50% dodge rate. But you can still like after with like an artifact buff, she buffs like 88, 98. So one dodge buff up, she now has like 21k dodge, right? And like the math wise, I believe that's enough to give her around a 60% dodge rate. If you give her a couple more dodge buffs, like if you have two up, it's like it'll end up being like 67 or something. Right, you get diminished returns, but the point is, right, no matter what happens, she is mitigating a majority of the incoming physical attack damage that's happening. Regardless, like I said, you cannot penetrate against dodge. Like they could have a million armor penetration. Aurora is still mitigating a majority of the incoming physical damage to her. Right. Right, I said, and this is the same thing as magic damage. She has like no magic defense, but she has this skill called Rainbow Halo. Right, Rainbow Halo, this absorbs 75% of magic damage. Right, like I said, she actually has the best magic mitigation of any hero in the game, even though she has no magic defense, because she doesn't need magic defense. She has a better skill. And again, it doesn't matter how much magic penetration you have, right? Aurora is going to mitigate majority of the magic damage that comes her way. Right, like so between those two abilities, right, she has the best mitigation of any hero in the game, and this is part of what makes her so good. But in addition to that, though, because she can use Kane as a patron, right? She gets a lot of bonus energy, right? It's about 35% per dodge, right? And they've also, as of May 17th, 2000, they added a change to how dodge worked. Like before, when you dodged, you didn't get any energy on that, but then they changed dodge so that you get the energy you would have gained if they actually hit you. So she has actually increased her innate dodge. So on like hard hits, sometimes she only needs two dodges to use an ult, right? And her ult does A damage, right? So this does a lot of A damage. This can be, like I said, one that's pretty good damage. She has low magic penetration, but she does have magic penetration. But like also, it also knocks over Martha's teapot because it is AE, which is kind of relevant. Like Martha, right? She would be the best healer in the game, except Aurora makes it too easy to deal with her, and Aurora being the best tanks already in every team. So using Martha against Aurora usually is pretty weak because Martha can't keep her teapot up long enough to actually do any healing. So you're pretty much playing 4-on-5 if you have Martha in your team against Aurora team, right? So she effectively has pushed Martha to a much lower portion of the metagame. Like Martha's still good. Like, and there's certain like team times you'll want her, but you just don't see her as much. Like, and I never even really invested in Martha. Like, my Martha's way underdeveloped because I've never really needed her because, right? It's usually I use Celeste or Thea. Right, like I use Celeste most time. I use Thea when I can't. Sometimes Maya in the heal spots. Right, it's just like I said because Aurora is that oppressive. Right. Like I said, I think people don't understand this. Like someone is like saying, like, well, if you added like if they took like say, let's say, I think the example they gave was Corvus or something. My Corvus has like no development. Like he's right here, probably level 1. Right, so Corvus, right, someone said, like, well, if they gave him a couple skins, what if they gave him a health skin and armor skin? I'm like, that would make him better. Like, he's kind of squishy. Maxed out, I think he has 25k armor, like 740k health. He might have like 28k armor. Point is, he kind of has kind of low armor, kind of low health. Like, it's better than some tanks. But he's kind of squishy on the max level. He doesn't have a lot of magic defense either. So he's kind of squishy. He does do good, decent AE damage. But because he's squishy, this doesn't last that long. And someone asked, like, well, if they had a health skin and a armor skin, wouldn't he be like one of the best tanks in the game? Like, I mean, he would definitely have a lot more health, which helps his survivability a bit. One armor skin only adds 10,650 armor. Right, let's see if we can find some with an armor skin right here. Right, so only 10,650 armor. So one armor skin, right, that would only take his armor to like 35k or whatever. Like, that's most fighting heroes, like whatever Cura or whatever, most of them have more penetration than that when they're maxed out. They get like 30 to 40k penetration. So it's like that's not enough. One armor skin is not going to make a difference. Like even if you gave him 3 armor skins, right, you gave him three more armor skins tomorrow, whatever. Like one armor penetration buff from a hero like Isaac or whatever negates all 3 of those skins. Yes, he'd still have his basic armor, but again, those heroes usually have like innate armor penetration on those physical attackers, so they'd probably still be doing full damage on every hit with just a single armor penetration buff up from like a Tristan or an Isaac or a Fox, right? Like I said, it would definitely help, but it wouldn't make him the best tank in the game. Like Aurora would still be mitigating damage better than Corvus with 3 armor skins would, right? Because no matter how much penetration you have, Aurora is going to mitigate a majority of the physical attack damage. And this is why Aurora is the best tank in the game and going to remain the best tank in the game for the foreseeable future, right? She's the only tank that dodges. And I don't think, like I said, they've said for since they released Yasmin, they haven't released another dodge hero. And there's only 9 dodge heroes. And I think because they had those dodge mechanic change at the same time, and I think they realized like dodge is kind of overpowered. It's probably the best stat in the game, right? And Aurora being like someone who could buff dodge, right, for the whole team, she then gives that massive mitigation boost to a whole team, right? So it's like you can just, like I said, Aurora can single-handedly shut down a lot of physical attacking teams, right? And before Isaac was around, like Aurora was pretty much unchallenged. Like the Trinity Twins team was pretty much the absolute best team in the game. Like, because there just wasn't a lot of stuff that could beat that reliably. Maybe you could get Jew, but once you had Axel in the picture, then Jew was having a hard time because you just put Axel on Lars, right? That's made it a lot harder for Kark and Jew teams to get those. Like, so you had this situation where Trinity Twins was literally the best team in the game, right? Aurora, Krista, Lars, Celeste, Sebastian was literally the best team in the game because there just wasn't much stuff that could beat it reliably. Right, and it could pretty much beat just about any line out there. It's still a really good line, but the introduction of Isaac has helped bring some balance back to the metagame because he is very good against magic teams. Plus, he can silence. Right, Isaac's very, very good. Right, but the thing is, like with so before that though, like Aurora was single-handedly shutting down physical attack team strategies. Right, there's only 2 other heroes who buff dodge, and they're Dante and Heidi. Dante, he got a buff. Like, he's actually not too bad, but he can't really tank the way Aurora does. Like, he can tank okay, but like just because of the dodge, but he doesn't have the magic mitigation that Aurora has. So a couple hits with the Celeste, he will die. Right, Heidi is a backline hero, so she can't really buff dodge for the whole team, or like I said, he can't really buff dodge for the whole team. Like Dante or Aurora can. So it's kind of like Aurora kind of is the go-to dodge buffer. Like, she just ends up being the best tank in the game. And this, like I said, short of them adding another dodge hero, another dodge tank in the near future, or adding dodge skins to other tanks. Like, maybe if they added, we talked about giving them, like say Corvus 3 armor skins. Now, if they gave Corvus 3 dodge skins, then that would be a different conversation. Corvus 3 dodge skins would be a lot better than 3 armor skins, right? I don't know if more tanks should have more dodge skins because dodge is just overpowered, but as it stands now, Aurora is the best tank, and that's really not going to change soon. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.